Welcome to Evolutionary Men. I'm your host, Jason Lang. Let's get started.
All right, and welcome back. So this is a turbo episode where I just want to announce and talk about Men's Group Experience, the new offering I've put out into the world that I think is the simplest and easiest way for any man to experience the power of a men's group. Now, if you follow me, if you follow Evolutionary Men, you know that's important because I do believe every man should be in a men's group, and that's part of my mission. I think it is the most potent leverage point we have for, quite frankly, changing the planet, changing humanity, and improving the level of suffering in the world. And if you've also heard me on the show, you know with men's groups in particular, I believe we can only grow them fast enough through a decentralized model. What that means is they're peer-led. We're not paying someone else to facilitate them. We're actually co-leading them and co-creating them. That's a huge shift, which takes us from consuming someone else's group to co-creating the group we want to be part of. And why that's important is it creates more commitment and ownership in the men that are part of it. The groups I'm in that are the most durable and still going are all these peer-led decentralized groups because they're ours. Nobody can take them away from us. And Men's Group Experience, while it is a program and an offering, what it really is a framework for how to launch a group like that yourself. And so it's a 12-week experience you'll go through with 5 other men. And each week, you get to experience getting embodied, getting connected to the guys, facing edges, and building real skills and capacities to deal with the stresses of your life. I give you the tools, I give you the framework, but you got to show up. Now, the way it works in terms of creating the shared leadership is I'm not just going to throw you in the circle and say, go. So for the first 6 sessions, I facilitate virtually, right? There's a pre-recorded session for each of the first 6 meetings. You just hit play on, and I will guide you guys through a really potent meeting. But then, and this is really important, for the 6 at the back half of the program, you're each going to have a turn to lead. I will still give you the structure and what to do in the meeting, and you'll know exactly how to lead the other men, but you'll have the experience of being the men's group facilitator and really holding the presence for the circle and the group. And that is a deeply empowering thing if you've never done it before. And by the end of that 12 sessions, your group will have a framework and skills and capacities that if you guys want, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from meeting, frankly, for the rest of your lives. You may also choose to just do the 12-week experience and let it go from there. That's totally okay. But what's important is you will have experienced the power of a group that if you then want, you can take it offline. I love virtual groups, and I've been astounded at how powerful they are. I'm part of 3 of them at this point that meet at various times throughout the year. And I cannot imagine my life without these men in it. And the truth is, they wouldn't be in my life in quite the same way if we didn't meet virtually. Now, that said, I'm also part of a physical meet space group, right? Where we actually get in the room, and there's something really special about that. But for some men, they live in an area where they can't connect with guys like that, or there just aren't men who are interested in the work. That's where virtual can be a really huge win. But if you do want to take your group offline, so to speak, and start one, you'll have lived the experience and know how to do so thanks to Men's Group Experience. And if you really want to take that framework and run with it, creating your own virtual groups or creating your own offline groups, peer-led, or frankly, ones people pay you for, you can also sign up for my program, Men's Group Mastery, which is another 12-week program, but it's all about the facilitation side of things. It's about giving you the tools, the structures, and the knowledge base so you feel rock solid leading groups or deepening existing groups, whichever one works for you. Now, you can do mastery on its own if you're like, I just want to lead. But what I recommend is actually doing them both together. So doing the bundle, which means First, you walk the walk. You experience this 12-week transformational mechanism I've created. And then, inside of Mastery, you learn all the tools to really feel confident about taking it out in the world. You can do a men's group experience alone if you just want to participate. You can do Mastery alone if you just want to lead. But like I'm saying, the best way is to do them both together, where you'll have lived the experience, so then you can lead from authenticity and integrity and an embodied knowing of what you're taking the other men through, even if they're guys you've been sitting in circle with for a long time. And for those of you that are really pumped about men's groups, I do have a mentorship track as well, where you can work closely with me and I'll help guide you through your group, and you can even get listed on my website. Again, the whole point of men's group experience in all these offerings is this work needs to scale. You are not the only man that's struggling in your life. If you're listening to this podcast, if you found it, you're quite honestly probably ahead of the curve in terms of getting support and help and examining yourself as a man. But there are a lot of guys out there who are totally lost, totally disconnected, and do not know where to start, and do not know how to go deeper than that surface level so many of us guys default to, of talking about the game or talking about the woman or whatever that might be, even though inside we're totally suffering, but we're just ashamed or don't have the skills or have just been hammered over the head about what a real man is and that he should never share these things. But I can tell you, I've been in men's groups now for 20 years. I've been leading groups since about 2017. And when you give a man a safe, deep space, every man has something they need to share and bring forward that they will be better off for doing so. And the men's group experience is a way to support other men in doing this. You go through it, you're going to be with other guys. You will then have a tool set and skills that you can take out into the world, whether you do Mastery or not. And frankly, you might bond so deeply with the 5 other men in your group, you just keep meeting every other week, every month, every quarter, whatever it is that works for you guys. I consider men's group to be my heartbeat, right? My life might get crazy. I might drop out of presence. I might get frazzled or stressed. But I know in my life, at least every other week, I'm dropping in with men who expect me to show up fully and to get in touch with what's most important in my life and speak to it. It has transformed my being more than anything else I've done. I've done coaching, I've done workshops, I've done plant medicines, I've done therapies, and they're all great and they're really important. You can think of men's group as the space with which you can integrate all that work into. You're going to live it, and you have to build skills and capacities to effectively be part of a group, right? You have to learn to bring your inner experience out, and you have to learn to be present with other men's inner experiences. And this is a really big deal, particularly in this day and age. One of the most important things you can do as a man is learn to stay connected even when things are intense, even when you don't agree with something. And while oftentimes men's groups will bring together like-minded men, it can be very different than the type of men you might experience otherwise. There might be guys in your group you don't see eye to eye with, politically, culturally, spiritually. There might be guys in your group that trigger you, that make you upset for some reason. And guess what? That friction is what you need to grow as a man. Learning to stay connected, see below the surface, and be man to man, human to human, heart to heart with someone else. That is the skill and capacity we need now more than ever. It can be overwhelming to do that in the outer world. There's so many people and so many agendas, but a men's group will give you a container to go deeper than the cultural surface and to get real with other guys and to allow you to get real. So many of us men just hold too much inside and we suffer for it. We disconnect for it. And then we have to numb ourselves or try to achieve our way out of it. And frankly, it doesn't work. I've worked with hundreds of men at this point. And whether you're a man who's on the painful end of the spectrum where life's just not working, can't quite get the job you want, or you're always broke, or maybe you're struggling dating. And then you look over at the other side and you see the guy that's incredibly successful, has a lot of money, maybe he has a wife and kids and family. Guess what? That guy suffers too in ways you might be shocked by. All men are suffering, and all of us men tend to hide it inside. And it doesn't make us a victim to start to talk about that. What a men's group does is it allows us to take responsibility for our pain and work with it, right? A victim doesn't take responsibility for their pain. They point that responsibility out everywhere else. And there are times that is entirely appropriate, but it's not always appropriate. And a men's group is going to help you see, what do you have agency and control over on your side of the court? What can you take ownership of? And I can tell you, in my life and in many men I've worked with, it feels so much better when we realize and build the skills and capacities for, oh, I have agency. I can influence the outcome of my life. I'm not helpless, right? I can take responsibility. And the second I take responsibility, it means I can start to change things. And men's groups are one of the most powerful ways to do that. We are not meant to do it alone. We are social creatures. And even as men, the way we bond, I've talked about, is through vasopressin, right? It's dealing with stressful things together, whether that's the war, whether that's the hunt, whether that's building something, all the old platitudes you can think about from times before. The game's starting to change now, where just as important is dealing with the stresses of the inner world and learning, how do we orient in this incredibly complex day and age. A men's group is going to get you more connected to yourself and your body, more able to stay relationally open with other people, and far more clear about where your attention should be in any moment of your life. And when those three things are really happening, it's just way better. So again, in short, men's group experience is enrolling now. It's a 12-week virtual journey. You'll meet over Zoom, and you'll meet with 5 other guys. Half of the sessions will be pre-recorded videos where I'll be facilitating, and half the sessions will be led by you guys. So you're actually going to get the power and take some responsibility for your group. So it's a great opportunity to step up and step out. At the end of the 12-week experience, your group will have all the tools you want to either continue in perpetuity together or go off and create your own things. And if you really want to deepen your capacity as a facilitator and leader of men's groups, you can also do the mastery program, where I'm going to teach you everything I've learned about how to create groups, how to connect them, how to find the right men, you name it, practices you can do. It's all there in mastery. And if you really want to go even deeper, I do have a mentorship track where you're going to meet with me, and I will help you create your group, get it out there, and even show up when I can. And so you can do all these things independently. You can do them all together if you really want to walk the walk. But this is it. Men need help. You likely are struggling with something in your life. And here's the thing. Your willingness to step in and handle that in connection and community with other men, that is leadership, because that starts to show them the way out. And the more you step into your journey of getting support, the more easy you're making it for other men to do the same. We all have this fantasy that someone else is going to fix the world. But the truth is, it's on us, one man at a time, grabbing another brother and taking him deeper. That is really what the power of the men's group is about. And it's really what you can experience now through the men's group experience. So easiest way to learn more and follow up if you have any questions with me is just go to mens.group, and it'll take you to the page with everything you need to know about the program. We start the first week of June, so definitely check it out now and sign up. And I'm going to get you into a potent group with some kick-ass men, and you're going to have what I hope will be one of the experiences of a lifetime, and have built some skills and capacities that are going to impact every area of your life. All right, until next time.